So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to compile and deploy your smart contract using the Truffle framework. So Truffle framework is quite different from Remix. Truffle, you need to use JavaScript to compile and deploy your contract, while Remix just do it automatically. The Remix browser just deploy and compile your smart contracts automatically for you. So first things first, we need to initiate a Truffle project. So there are actually two ways I use to initiate a Truffle project, which I'm going to be showing you now. So firstly, I use my command line. So you go to your command line or git bash, any of the command line you have, it's okay. So I'm going to zoom out so that you see what I'm doing. So I'm going to initiate a new directory, mkdir. So we're going to be naming this directory is going to be housing our Truffle project, our Truffle simple project. So this is going to be called, let's call this new project. So we're going to enter the project. So we're going to do is cd new project. All right. So inside the new project, we're going to be initiating our Truffle project. So this Truffle project gives us sample folders for our different components, a contract, our migration scripts, our network configuration, and our test folders. So we're going to do a Truffle initialization in it. So it's going to so it has successfully run in its successful suite. So all we have to do now is to go directly into VS Code now. So we're going to run code period full stop. It's going to take us directly to VS Code. We are going to see our folders. You can see contract, migration, tests, configuration. So this is for our smart contract, this is for our migration script, this is for our test folders, this is for our network configuration. So secondly, how I initiate my project secondly, I'm going to create a new project. Okay, you go to your Windows, you create a new, click on new, then click on folder. After clicking on folder, then you do a new, let's do a new project. So we're going to name this new project. So, okay, I think I already have a folder named new project. So I'm going to do a new project 1. So it doesn't collide. So we're going to go in our VS Code. Then we're going to minimize it. Then we're going to drag and drop. Alright. We're going to drag and drop. So we're dragging and drop. We get an empty folder. So we're going to go to here, file, edit, selection. You click on terminal. You click on new terminal. Then you wait for it to pop up, to load up. So wait for it to load up. So all you simply have to do here is to do a Truffle in it. So it's going to, you can see, we're going to start up our basic project. So this is how we initiate a Truffle project in VS Code. So what we're going to be doing next is writing our smart contracts, deploying and compiling. So here we have a simple counter project here. You can see, take note, we created a counter.sol inside the contract folder. So this contract folder is not supposed to be expecting any file except a contract. All contracts should be inside the contract folder. So please, mind you, before you use Solidity inside VS Code, make sure you are having the Solidity extension. You can see here, make sure you have it installed, Solidity extension. This extension picks up the Solidity code and it lets VS Code know that okay, we are dealing with a Solidity code here. So that's what basically the extension does. So in order for us to compile this smart contract, right, we need something called a migration script. So this is what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be doing it inside the migration script. So we're going to do a one migration just.js. So it's a JavaScript file. So one thing about the migration script, please, if you are having up to 10 migration scripts, even if up to 20 or 100, make sure they are arranged sequentially. Make sure you arrange them in a sequential order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't do a one migration script, then you pick 5 migration script, then 6 migrations. No, after you do one migration script, the next that is going to be following is supposed to be 2 migration scripts or 3 migration scripts. If not, it's not going to migrate and compile successfully. So we're going to start. So we're going to do by storing a artifact of our counter contract. So we're going to do the counter in question. So we're going to do artifacts that require. We're going to do counter. Yeah. So we're going to do a module dot exports equals to. It's going to be a sync function because we're going to be awaiting. So function. So it's going to take in an argument deployer. So we're going to do deployer dot deploy. Well, we deploy the counter contract. So we're going to build the counter. Then so voila, our migration script is ready. So I think there was no errors. Check. Most errors that we get here in Truffle are typos. So whenever you're working on your projects, you always check for typos, typographical error. You might be mistaking an A, you might be mistaking an S, you might be mistaking an A. So always check your alphabets whether they're correct or not. So next we are going to set up our network configuration. So mind you, please, Ganache must be running. So we are going to quickly run our Ganache. Yeah, so we don't get left out. So we're going to quick start. Okay. So we're waiting for Ganache to run. Okay, Ganache has finished running. So going back to our configuration. So you can see we are going to scroll down. So we're going to scroll down module.exports under networks. So then we can see our developments. We are going to be using development since we are going to be using Ganache. If we were using Goerli, you can see the network for Goerli is already provided here. So if you're using a private network, it's already provided here. You just use your network ID and your mnemonic phrase. Same here. You need your mnemonic phrase and your Infura project ID. So for us, we won't be needing all those. We'll comment this. So all we have to do, we are going to change our ports to 7545 I think that's the same thing in ganache. Okay, I don't think it's here. So just know that it's 745. Always change this to 7545. So network ID, we don't need that. So we are good to go. So then we'll go down. Then what compiler version is our smart contract using? So we are going to specify it here. We're going to go with our Pragma. Pragma Solidity version 0.8.0. So yeah, 0.8.0. So you can see soak version. We are going to replace this 0. If we don't do this, it's going to compile. You're going to try an error. So everything is working correctly. So let's compile and see. So please keep an eye on here. You notice something. Once we compile, we are going to see a build folder. So we're going to do a truffle, compile. You can see the build folder. So immediately your project compiles successfully, you are going to be getting your JSON file, your ABI, your JSON file, which is containing your contract name, your ABI, and the rest. So let me just see this file for your ABI. So once you compile successfully, you are going to get automatically a build folder. Then we're going to deploy now. We're going to deploy. So head over to Ganache. You can see there is currently no transaction. So we are going to do a truffle migrate. Truffle migrate. And if we did everything correctly, our contract is supposed to be deployed on the Ganache network. Okay. So you can see our transaction went successfully. Our transaction has the contract address and whatever. So our transaction went successfully. Let's go to you can see contract creation. You can see our contract was successfully. So if you were following up to this step, you did a very great job. So what we're going to do now is look at these contracts. We have only deployed this contract. How are we going to interact with this contract? So interacting with this contract, that's where Truffle development comes in. Truffle development is used to interact with the smart contract. So we'll do a Truffle. Sorry. Why am I always missing the T? Truffle development. Development. So it's going to like pull out a development console. Right? No. Sorry. Control D. Sorry. We're supposed to do a truffle console, not development console, rather. Sorry, please take note. We are supposed to do a truffle console instead of development. So, so you see something like truffle development. Yeah. So you can see the difference. This one is developed, this one is development. So we are going with the development. So for us to get this development, we are going to do a truffle console. So it's open up a development side. So what we're going to do in our development side, for us to be able to interact with this smart contract, we're going to redeploy it on the development side. So how do we do that? We do that by doing a const counter. Then we do should be await. Now let's not await. So let's do a counter. We do a capital letter counter. So this is the contract dot deployed. So I think our contract has been deployed. So let's see the content of our counter. Voila, you can see the contract was deployed successfully. So if you got this exact same thing, the contract was deployed. So you can see can see the increment function, you can see the decrement function, you can see the count, you can see the contract address, you can see the JSON file. I think the ABI is at the top. So yeah, so for us to interact with the smart contract, we need to do await counter dot increment. So we are going to be calling, let me bring this down a little bit. We're going to be calling this function increments. So we're going to be incrementing the count. So we're going to enter. So you can see our transaction went successfully. You can see transaction went successfully. You can see the transaction hash. So let's check it out on Ganache. You can see contract call. The transaction went successfully. You can see here. So same with this. So for us to let's get the value of our counter. So we're going to be awaiting. So we're going to be calling this count. So we're going to be awaiting counter dot count. That is the getter function. So it's going to be returning a very big number, right? It's going to return a very big number, and in JavaScript you can't see a very big number. It's going to bring something like this. So we are going to convert it to string. So before converting it to string, so we are going to store it in a variable. So we're going to name this count. So we're going to name this count equals to const count equals to our width. So I'm going to be copying this. I'm going to grab this, copy this, and paste it here. Yeah. So we're going to do a count dot to string. So you can see it returned 1. We incremented the function, so we incremented increase function. We call this increase function, right? So incrementing this count to 1. So this is the value of the count here. So let's call this count function some more. Let's call increment. Let's call this some more time. So it's going to be some more. So cost. Let's do a new variable, new count. Let's say the value of the new count equals to await counter dot count dot count. So new count dot to string. So you can see 6. So let's decrease it to 1. So we're going to do an await counter dot decrease. We are calling the decrease function. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to be calling new value. Let's just name this new value equals to await counter dot count. Alright. So new value dot to string. So you can see our count is currently 1. So we decreased and increased our value. You can see our smart contract is currently working. The increase function, we call the increase function from the console, the decrease function from the console, and we also viewed our count. So this is a very basic way of initiating a new project, compiling and deploying. It's very, very easy to do. So a migration scripts, I'm going to be dropping it in my GitHub. So it's going to be in my link in my description. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you learned something from this video. Thank you.